Hi, everybody. We are Bollywood Moms on the Go with Robin and Sonia. And today, because yesterday was Valentine's Day, we are talking about the 5 love languages, which is a book written by Gary Chapman.
Mm-hmm. So this book applies for any type of relationship, could be with your partner, with your friends, with your children. So it is really like the love languages. So the first one is words of affirmation.
Yeah, so this one is all about people who feel loved or most loved when they are being told how great they are, so they're being told how much you love them. They are being constantly given affirmation, given a verbal sort of attention.
Mm-hmm. So as an example, could be if you talk to your spouse or partner and you say, oh, I love that you set up the table like this for the guest, or
right.
Just complimenting.
Mm-hmm.
But affirmation that they did something great and you appreciate what they did.
Yeah, you're proud of them.
Yeah. Another example for the children, when you see that they have been doing their homework without you saying, that's like, oh, that's great that you've been already starting doing your math.
Yeah, they really eat it up, right?
Yeah.
So when you're trying to evaluate what I wonder what my kids' word or love language is, you'll see, like, when you give them a compliment or you tell them they're doing a good job, they're just like beaming from that. Then that's probably theirs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The second one is all about gifts.
People like gifts, but some people like them more than others. And so the person whose love language is gifts is so appreciative of even the smallest thing. A dandelion from the yard is like everything to this person because of the sort of energy and appreciation put into giving that gift to them.
Yeah, totally. So when the person receives the gift, it sends like a message like, oh, he was thinking about me, and this is how we show his love. Maybe you receive, I don't know, a notebook. It's like, oh, that's a new notebook because I'm addicted with all these kind of notebooks because you're like a bullet journal writer. So you appreciate that. And then another example, maybe for the children, when you give a little tiny something in their lunchbox, and it's like, oh, a gift from my mom or dad. So they feel like, oh, so valued.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, that one's a good one. It's not mine. We're going to get to mine though.
So the third one is acts of services.
This is mine.
Mine too.
Yeah, really? Yeah. So acts of service, love language, is when people just do stuff without being told for you, So if you are felt most loved when someone is, shoveling the walk or doing the dishes or mopping the floor or cleaning the bathroom, like all of those things which you would think are just regular things around the house, someone who has acts of service as a love language is just bowled over. My husband won me over with this one because he would take my car and wash it for me when we were dating and things like that. And that for me was it. Yeah.
I have the same. Like, I so appreciate when people do anything, especially for the house thing. Anything regarding the house maintenance, when my husband just like, yeah, I'm doing the dishes without me asking him to do, just like, that's good. I love it. Or when my children, like yesterday, I was folding the laundry. I was starting to fold the laundry to put that away. And then my son came and it's like, oh, mommy, I'm going to help you. It's like, oh, thank you. I was like, oh, thank you. Really like appreciate that. Yes, it's like, oh, I love you. But this kind of tiny little gesture feel like just nourish yourself. You feel loved, and it's really like about being and feeling loved.
Yeah.
And the fourth one is quality time.
Quality time. So this person who feels like this is their love language, really values time. So if you stop everything to give your attention and your time to this person, they need you to look at them when you're talking to them. They need to know that you're there physically with them. That really matters to this person.
Yeah, it's really about connection. It's not about like, yeah, let's watch a movie and you're not really connected. You're just like passive in front of the TV. It's really like having like meaningful discussion maybe with your partner or sharing playtime with your kids, like you really appreciate them playing with them. It's like, yeah, I'm going to play with you for 10 minutes, then I'm going to go back to whatever routine needs to be done. But it's like you spending quality time, connection, and you really like reinforce the bond that you have with the person.
Yeah, definitely.
And the fifth one is the physical touch.
Yeah, so this one is actually, it's kind of tricky because a lot of times people will relate this back to a sexual thing, but it isn't like that. It's more, you know, like when someone just has their hand on you or just rubs your shoulders as they're walking by. You know, my sister, this is my sister's. If you sit beside her on the couch, she will always move into you. Like she has to be touching a part of you at all times. And she's the biggest snuggle bug that you'll ever meet. So this person, if you were not giving them that physical touch, you know, it's almost painful for them to not have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also like kissing and cuddling your kids on your partners. So yeah, many examples. So when you look at the 5 love languages, it's like what matters for yourself, and then also observing what matters for others.
Yeah. And really sort of taking the time to understand that just as if we were speaking a different verbal language with each other, there sometimes can be a disconnect if we are forgetting to value the other person's love language. So if you have a different love language than your spouse and you never offer their love language, because you wouldn't think of it because it's different than yours, it wouldn't necessarily come to mind. Sometimes that is causing the relationship difficulties with you and your spouse, or you and your children, or people at work. You know, like think any relationship that you're in, if you can figure out what their love language is, you can make a huge dent in forward movement in that relationship just by paying attention to that.
Yeah, it is key. Like we discovered this book with my husband like 4 years ago. And it was such a revelation to like, oh, okay, you're more like this and I'm more like this. So we acknowledge, and then sometimes we feel like, oh, maybe you need more of your love language, and then vice versa. So it was really something interesting to do. So I know that online on the site of Gary Chapman, there is also quizzes which are free. Yeah. So you could try them out for your couples and also for the teens. I think they have quizzes for children too. And you can just try to discover. Yeah. So you can, I think we're going to make a link on the video.
Yes. Yeah, we will.
So then you can check. So really it's about understanding better yourself, what you need to be loved, and understanding also the other person and what they need to be loved.
Yeah, and taking steps towards that. When Gary Chapman was here in Calgary, my husband and I actually went and listened to him talk. And he's a really interesting guy. He was a marriage counselor for many, many years. And this is where this came from, because he saw these people struggling in their marriages. And so often it was just them simply not acknowledging, you know, the other thing, but thinking they were doing a great job because they were acknowledging their own love language. So for example, a husband was like doing all the work around the house and like doing everything, because his love language was acts of service, but hers was quality time. So to her, he's just avoiding her and ignoring her by doing, you know, so he thinks he's doing a great job and being an amazing husband. Mm-hmm. You know, he's missing this one key thing. And, you know, he's saved a lot of marriages, but like we said, we have relationships with different individuals in our life and in our day, in many, many ways. And if we can just take this one thing and start to make an impact, woo, that's huge.
Yeah, it's really like understanding better the connection with all the people around us.
Yeah, and if you guys have or are interested in the Audible book, the audio book of this, I want you to message me personally because I can send it to you. So I'd be happy to do that.
Mm-hmm. So we want to share some love. So please like the video, share some love, because we also would like to see the love. And because you're sending so much love.
Your act of service for Sonia and I is to comment, share, and subscribe.
So we love you guys.
We love you.
And we see you in the next video.